welcome back to my channel. This week I am doing a Q&A, but we're going to do it out of my car because I'm babysitting this weekend. It is so loud in the house. There's no way I can get any work done. I actually woke up super early and left my house like before 9 so I can get this done and then be home to like take them out and stuff. So we're going to do a Q&A, a juicy Q&A from my car. I'm going to be answering questions I have never answered before. Not necessarily questions that I've been avoiding, but just questions that I don't feel like I need to answer. But to make this a little fun Q&A, I'm going to do it now. But before I start, I did pick up some coffee and I'm so excited because every time I come to this place, they always end up giving me 2 coffees. Either they like overmake them, I don't know how, like they don't communicate in the back, so they always end up making my order twice, or they mess up. So today she just made it twice. I was like, I don't mind. So I got a latte with almond milk and 1 pump of vanilla, so I'm gonna try it out. So good. You guys have to come to Common Bond if you're in Houston. There's 2 locations. They're both so good. And I also got 2 little pastries because I thought that would be so fun to show you guys. So this one I always get. It's a morning blend. It's like a croissant and donut coated with some sugar and cinnamon. This is so good. I've had this before. And then I got this actually for Isa and a Smile, but I thought I could do a little taste test with you guys. It's an oatmeal pie. How good does that look? I used to eat this all the time when I was younger. Okay, we'll just do a little taste test. Yummy. It is very sweet for breakfast. Okay, I'm gonna do a little taste test of this, and then I'll get started in the Q&A. Or maybe let me just answer a question. Okay. I'll answer while I'm eating. So I asked on Instagram like a week ago to send in some questions while I was at my drip therapy session, and I got a ton of questions, and I was like, you know what, I'll use this for my YouTube. The first question, and oh my god, I can't believe somebody asked me this. By the way, you guys, don't ask people these type of questions. Like, this is so rude, and like sometimes you can hurt other people's feelings. So the first question is, did your marriage end because you were impotent? Indicating like, was I infertile? Was I unable to have kids? The answer is no. We actually never tried to have kids, so I don't know if I'm infertile. But asking someone that is so rude. Like, can you imagine somebody trying to have kids for so long and you ask that question and you just like hurt their feelings and dig a deeper hole? That is so uncalled for. People on the internet, I feel like they think they can ask anything, especially to influencers and bloggers. When we ask you guys like, oh, ask us anything, we're not asking you to ask us like really personal, rude questions. But yeah, the answer is no. Following that up, this wasn't a question, but I thought this would be really fun to answer because I never talked about it here on my YouTube. Somebody said, should I adopt before marriage or after marriage? And the answer is whenever the time is right for you. And I wanted to address this because I thought it would be super fun. I've always wanted to adopt. It's actually something my ex-husband and I talked about a ton. Again, we didn't know if we were able to have kids or not, but it was something that both of us were really passionate about doing. I feel like there's so many well-deserved kids out there. I mean, all kids are deserving of having a second chance in life and being blessed with a beautiful life, and I want to be able to do that. So I thought that was a really nice question. But yeah, I think the answer to that is whenever the time is right for you. It is so hot, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm turning the AC on. I hope you guys can still hear me. But okay, the next question I've definitely answered several times before, but the second half I haven't, so I thought this would be a good question. Are you married? You never show your spouse if you are. So I'm definitely not married. In the case that I do get married, I'll definitely be sharing with you guys either before or after, depending on the situation. But no, I'm not married. And why do I never show my spouse, or why did I never show him in the past? So in my past relationship, it was definitely a personal preference. My ex-husband did not want to be on social media, and I totally respect that and understand that. But it got me thinking about like my future. Like, do I want my future spouse to be the same? Or do I want him to partake in my social media? I don't know. I'm so torn about it because I definitely, as a person, love low-key guys. Like, if they're not on social media, it's definitely a 10 out of 10 in my books. And I don't know if I I would want them to be in my social media all the time because I don't want it to become like a couple's page or something. But at the same time, I do think there are perks of having a significant other and sharing those parts of your life with others, because I feel like people can learn from it. I can share like marriage tips and advice and have a guy's perspective. So I'm always torn between the two, but I'm also like huge on evil eye and just all that. So I don't know. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. Like, what do you think? Do you definitely feel like people who share their relationships online have a bigger risk? Well, obviously they have a bigger risk of evil eye, but do you feel like it's truly real and like people's marriages can fall apart? Or do you feel like it's just kind of like more on your beliefs, and if you read your duas and stuff and you feel like you're taking your steps on like protecting your family, then you're okay? Let me know. Next question. Are you currently trying to find your soulmate? Oh my god, I got so many questions. Every time I ask this, obviously people want to know about your relationships and your marriage life. It's just something of interest to everyone. And I understand that, because I'm always like, ooh, is that person in a relationship? I guess long answer short, yes, I am currently looking for my soulmate. Have I found the soulmate yet? I don't know. I feel like finding the one is so hard, and I always get asked that question, like, how do you know he's the one? I don't know the answer to that, because obviously in the last relationship I thought he was the one, and I was wrong. So I think if he checks off on your list, obviously don't have like a long list, but like the basics, like good person, great character, within the same sector of your religion, hardworking, respectable, then yeah. And then if he checks off on that, and you've done your istikhara, and you guys have chatted about important topics before, and everything just feels right, then take the leap, because I don't think you'll ever find the perfect person. And it's taken me so long to realize that. Like, obviously I know there's not the perfect person out there, but at the same time, I'm having a really hard time settling. I just feel like anytime I'm with somebody, I just feel like I'm settling. Not that I feel like I'm better than them or I'm well deserving. It's just that in my heart, I'm like, oh, I don't think this is right. So I'm definitely dealing with that right now. But did I currently find my soulmate? Are you currently trying to find your soulmate? Yes. Next question. How much money do you make? Okay. This is one of those other questions that you never ask people online, because would you ask somebody that in real life? But the answer to that is enough to sustain myself and my family. I'm definitely not rich, and I don't roll in money. I am a spender though, so something that I'm trying to cut back on, but I'm also frugal at the same time. Like, I don't drive a luxurious car. I don't live in a home that's bigger than it needs to be, and stuff like that. But I do spend my money because I'm working hard to make it. So I go on vacations a ton. I don't hold back when I'm like eating out or when I'm shopping. And I feel like I can definitely improve there as well. But how much money do I make? I make enough to live a comfortable life. I'm definitely not rich. I'm not rolling in money. The next question is, when are you moving out? And I think a lot of people ask this too, because I think people think that I'm like miserable or like stuck at home, but it's definitely a choice. It's a choice that I've made for the last like 4 years, and I've contemplated several times if I wanted to move out. I'm just the type of person, I'm so scared to live alone because I've always lived with somebody. So when I was younger, all the way till 19, I was living with my parents. And then when I got married, I was living with my ex-husband. And then when I got divorced, I came back to my parents' house. And so like the thought of living alone is kind of a little bit scary. And I know that sounds silly coming from a 30-plus-year-old, but that's just how I feel. But I'm definitely opening up to the idea of getting my own place and starting my own life, because obviously I can't live with my parents forever. But yeah, I'm not in a rush to move out. It is something that has been in the talks for a while, so maybe soon. Maybe that's the next chapter of my life I will be sharing with you guys. Okay, do you want kids? I think a lot of people think that I don't want kids because of the way I phrase an answer in the past. I think I said something along the lines of like, I don't remember what I said, but I think I gave off the vibe that I don't want kids. And recently on my Instagram stories, somebody asked a question about wanting advice about infertility, and I said it's one of the darkest times of my life that I went through, and the best advice I can give is like to continue praying and something like that. And my friend responded to that, and she was like, girl, why are you making it sound like you're infertile? And I was like, wait, is that how it comes off? I was trying to answer the question in a broad way of saying, like, during difficult times of your life, the best way to approach it is X, Y, and Z. Not saying that I was in that same exact situation. But anyways, I do want kids in the future, inshallah. I did want kids really, really bad when I was younger. When I was like 20, when I had first gotten married, I was like, oh, kids sound so lovely right now. But luckily, thank God, in the course of my marriage, it was just not something that we explored, because obviously I ended up being divorced, so it was better for me. And as I got older, I have 2 nephews, and I've been able to spend a lot more time with them since I do have a lot of free time. So now I'm at the point in my life, I was like, okay, kids are not the best idea for me right now, because they do take up a lot of your time. They are such a great blessing, but they also require so much time and discipline, and it's just a whole nother ball game, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. But yes, I do want kids in the future. I wanted a ton when I was younger, probably just like 1 now, and then hopefully inshallah I can adopt 1, so 2 max. So that's that. Okay, this next question is, do you still keep in contact with your ex-spouse and his family? No, I don't. We definitely had a really rough ending. We did not communicate after we split up, so that was that. Like, I have no idea what's going on in his life, and I don't know if he keeps up with my socials. If he is, then he's obviously well aware of what's happening, because my Instagram is so public, but I have no idea where he is in his life right now. I don't care to know either. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and certain chapters in your life, like, you just have to learn to let go. And definitely this is advice to myself first, because it took me so long to get over my divorce. I mean, I was married for like 5.5 years, so it took me a whole year to get over it. And one of the biggest things for me was learning to let go. Like, I just wanted to know how everything was, like how he was, like how his family was, what was happening. Like, I felt like so much still part of that family when I wasn't. And so yeah, that was a learning curve. But once I got over that, I could care less. And it's just like, that person means nothing to you anymore. So yeah, no, I don't have any know-abouts of him or his family. Okay, last one, and this is similar to things I've said in the past before, but I feel like a lot of my questions are always like around the topic of marriage and my past. So this one said, were you the one who ended the marriage? Do you ever feel low because you're 32 and not married? Yes, I was the one who ended my marriage. It was a mutual at one point, and then we kept going back and forth. I think at the time that I asked for the divorce, it was definitely mutual. I was just the one who said it first, I guess, or like initiated it, or like stepped out of the marriage, I guess. Okay, my camera died, so I have to be really quick. Do I ever feel low? If I say no, I feel like I'm lying. It's not something that I think about and I'm like super sad about. It's not something that's constantly on my mind. But I do feel low in the sense that, like, people remind me, like aunties or people at weddings, or when I get asked a question like, are you looking for someone? Are you married yet? The married yet is usually what gets me, because I feel like society definitely puts on this pressure that you're expected to be married by now. Like, why aren't you married? Is there something wrong with you? So that just it doesn't make me feel low. It just gets to me, I guess. That is all for this Q&A. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully the next video will be a lot more helpful. I wanted to do my swim haul and my summer modest hacks, but my big camera actually is not working, so I have it with me. I'm about to go get it fixed right now, so hopefully the next video will be a lot more helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in my next one.